Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24, and welcome to Coors Field. We're just going to jump into a player lock game here to start the episode. Our Rockies at 51-61 here against the Mets, who are the bottom team in the NL this season, just one game behind, or one game in front of the Chicago White Sox as the worst team overall, and it just hasn't really been good baseball there in Queens this year. Kyle Freeland on the mound for us today, 9-8. Decent numbers when all things considered. Our rotation, our bullpen, our pitching overall, the weakness of this baseball team. But we've invested a lot there in some minor leaguers via trade, via the draft last year, as we do step up to the plate here with Montero, up 2-1 here in the bottom of the second. Batting .212 on the year. Numbers way down from where they were last season. His slash line, I think, down like 120 points in regards to the OPS at least. Swing and a miss there on the slider. Now a quick 0-2 count. Fouled off an opening fastball. David Peterson on the mound, the lefty. Looking at a fastball up. And Montero, he led our team in home runs and RBIs last season, but hasn't returned to that level of play. Only 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, entering today with 151 at-bats on the year. And we're going to rope that into the gap. We send that the opposite way. Bounces to the wall. Going to round first, head for second. And Montero double to start things off today. And we really need him to get going a little bit. We traded Kris Bryant at the deadline in a shocking surprise trade there with the New York Yankees. They were willing to take on that salary, just very weak, up and down that lineup now in year 2 of this franchise. The Yankees have underwent extreme turnover, and that allowed us to trade Bryant to the Bronx. Now that opens up a spot here for Montero, kind of where we were going with the hot hand as a first base, third base type guy. And Rosario blasts that into left, and he homers against his former team. That's out of here. The Rockies now up 4-1, and Amed Rosario came up with the Mets. We signed him in the offseason as a utility man, and he's kind of earned a starting role now. His 5th home run of the year, that one 425 feet, and that's going to score Montero. Just the bottom of the second, and we have as many runs as we do outs in this game. Just one away here in the bottom of the second, and Rosario, that was a shot. As I said, he's been very good here to start his tenure with the Rockies, and we now have him starting in left field for now, at least against lefties. That was an absolute shot. 37.2 launch angle, almost 7 seconds of hang time, as that goes 425. Bottom of the third, still a 4-1 game. Peterson still in the game here with 2 away in the third. I think that's Tovar on first. First pitch, Montero, I think a little behind the fastball there. And we were able to hold up on the sinker. That would have been a bad chase. 1-1 count now. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Pulled too much underneath that one. And now a 1-2 count just like last at-bat. I think we did end up evening it at 2-2 though. And a swing and a miss. That's what happens when I try to commentate mid-pitch. Montero goes down swinging. Peterson gets out of the inning. We're through 3 here in Colorado. The Rockies lead 4-1. Montero now back up a 4-3 ball game now. Edmundo Sosa, a 2 RBI double. Trevor Richards now on the bump for the Mets. We're going to look at that one. A fastball gets in there high in the zone. The 0-1 now. Tovar again at first. That one low, now evened up 1-1. Curveball off the plate. Montero up in this one now 2-1. And we're going to launch that into left field as Montero's going to watch that into the seats, and that's gone. We witness another home run here today. Rockies now up 6-3. And that was an absolute shot. Sat back on that 456-foot home run here from Montero. 105.5 off the bat. Colorado loves Montero. Yes, they do when he's hitting home runs like this. As I said, our home run and RBI leader from last year, but after we brought in guys like Pete Alonso, Anthony Santander, Danny Jansen, Tovar is getting a lot better with the bat. We have McMahon, Rogers. he's kind of fallen out of favor here. I want to say he, was our cleanup guy for a little bit last year, but just better guys now on the roster and his play declining. So we kind of have had him on the bench most of the year. A 7-4 game now here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch swinging at the fastball, fouled off. The 0-1 here from Drew Smith. And we're going to rope that into center. I don't think that's going to be deep enough, as the center fielder makes the catch there on the warning track. Another good rip off the bat from Montero. And that will do it here in Colorado. Brandon Nimmo hit a 2-run home run, as the Mets again try to fight back, but just not enough, as the Rockies score 7, and we win here to start the month of August. A good performance here from Montero, 2 for 4, a home run, a double, 2 RBIs. Taj Bradley gets the save, a good bounce back, as he blew one to end last episode. We'll check out the box score. Tovar home run, Montero home run, Alonso and Rosario, the former Mets, each homer against their former team. Tovar was 3 for 4. Montero, the only other multi-hit game in this one. Kyle Freeland, 6 innings, 2 earned, only 1 strikeout. Gilbreth, Curtis, an inning out of the bullpen, and Bradley was in a bad spot there. He did allow that home run to Nimmo, but he did hang on for the save. But I think we got to find someone new there at closer. And I thought that game was the 1st of August, but it actually wasn't. I forgot last episode we simulated that series against the Angels. So we're now 3-1 to start the month, 9 games under 500. And our goal this year was to win 81 games, finish at 500. We're only 1 game back on the Diamondbacks and Giants. The Giants have been playing very bad here post-All-Star break. They were leading the division, I think, earlier in the season. The Diamondbacks a big fall off, and the Padres still under 500, 4 games under, although they have won 9 out of their last 10. But the Rockies have been playing better baseball here in the second half. We'll just go ahead and simulate the rest of this series against the Mets, who still don't even have 40 wins. So Flaherty on against Sean Manaea. Drew Romo, our catcher there in AAA. Another injury. He missed a couple months earlier, now a fractured hand, and he's pretty much going to miss the rest of the season. We're going to think about calling him up in place of our backup Jason DeLay, but that's not going to happen. Romo, when it's all said and done, is going to miss maybe, three quarters of this season. Now Taj Bradley again being contested here. A 4-3 game, 1 out, Tyrone Taylor on, and we do hang on for the win, but, Bradley, he was our best reliever throughout the season, which kind of forced us into putting him into the closer spot, but it's been very up and down for him. I think 10 out of 14 or 10 out of 15 in save attempts. Flaherty 3 earned in 6, he gets the win. Estevez, Yarborough, and Curtis and Bradley, a scoreless effort there in the final 3 innings. Alonso homered again here, 3 RBIs, 2 hits, Santander 2 hits, and Jason DeLay, the aforementioned catcher, 3 for 4 with a double. And now game 3 as Rockies go for the sweep. We have Dollander on against Frankie Montas. Lucas Sims now on. A tie game, top of the 9th, 2 away. Let's see if Sims can get out of it. And we do fall there, and we can't record the sweep against one of the worst teams in baseball. Rosario hitless as the leadoff man. 2 hits for Keeber Rodriguez, recently called up. 2 RBIs for him as well. Jones and Yanquiel Fernandez a double each. Chase Dollander didn't really last that long, only 4 1/3, 3 earned. Ryan Yarbrough, though, 2 2/3 of scoreless pitching. Gilbreth, a scoreless inning. And last episode, we did have our draft class ratings revealed, and we'll just do a little refresher in case you missed that. So Alex Parra was our number 7 overall pick, the second-rated player on the MLB board, and he ended up slipping right into our laps there. Already a very good hitter, especially against lefties. Not the best glove, but a very strong arm there at the hot corner. And 88 potential, already a 70 overall, so he's not too far away from the MLB at just 19 years old. David Castilla, maybe the best player in the entire draft, 66 overall, comes in already pretty well developed for a 21-year-old at 97 potential, and the hitting is going to be tremendous. The contact, the vision, discipline, clutch, so we're looking at a perennial 300 type hitter, although the power and the glove, big weaknesses, but he does have good speed and good stealing, and 6'4", 239, tremendous size there, manning second base. Muhammad Huffman, a switch hitting corner infielder, only 51 overall, so very raw there, as a B potential, though, 18 years old. Going to have a good glove, a strong arm as well, but the bat will need to come around a little bit. Tom Park, he was the 4th rated player according to our scouts, but on the MLB board, like in the 150s, maybe something like that. So we held off on him, ended up selecting him at maybe like 80 or 90 or so, and he ended up being a 96 potential. So we have 2 second basemen in this draft, each over 95 potential. Just miraculous haul here in this year 2 draft class. A lefty, another guy with good size at 6'4", 215 at a Chinese Taipei, also plays shortstop. Going to be a very good fielder. Need that arm to come around a little bit. Good speed and stealing. And the contact probably will develop pretty nicely over time, but going to need to develop some power to go along there as well. But potential Gold Glover there, as I've said in previous episodes, at second base, whereas Castilla, maybe a batting champion during his career. Ken Ramirez, a 62 overall catcher with decent potential at 77. A very strong arm at catcher, but the fielding needs to come around quite a bit. Very, very good contact. So he's going to be a decent hitting option as a backup catcher. A lefty, already with 77 contact versus righties. And then 2 center fielders here to end. We have Robert Marmolejo at 94 overall, but another very raw player. And he's 22 years old, so he might not even be ready for the big leagues until he's like 28 or 29. Decent contact to go along with decent speed, a good glove, but the arm is going to have to come around there a little bit. And then Luis Castro, good power against righties already at 50, a lefty, B potential. And, these guys in the later stages, like the 5th and 6th round, you'll take players with this high of a ceiling, even though they're going to take a little while to develop. So just a little refresher there as far as our draft class goes. Another very good draft. Last year we picked 6 pitchers to start, most of whom at least turned out to be very good with B potential or higher. So now I want to go over to Brendan Rodgers. We considered trading him at the deadline now with no more years of arbitration. So set to hit the open market, 28 years old. He's developed quite nicely here over the past 2 years. A little down this year, averaged in the 250s after batting over 300 last season. But he had a big slump there in, I think, May going into June, but since has turned it around. A very good glove at second base. Tremendous contact, especially against lefties. Good power against lefties, although it has regressed too. But good vision, and I think I really like him as like a number 2, a number 5, number 6 type hitter as we kind of strengthen our lineup. Spent last year mostly as our leadoff man, along with this season as well, but I think going forward it would be very beneficial to try and lock him up long term, as he's only looking for about $7 million per year, so I wouldn't mind just going ahead and offering him the 28 million over 4 years at $7 million annually, and even give him a player contract, because I don't like to take advantage of the market here. A lot of times you can, early on in a player's career or before they hit the open market, during their arbitration period, you could really take advantage of the numbers here. So we'll give him exactly what he wants and give him a player option. That way he can opt out if he's not satisfied with his salary at that point. So he signs the contract. We get Brendan Rodgers locked up long term, and really our biggest offseason re-signing is now done. So I want to go over to AAA. And we'll look at Michael Yamashita, our number 3 overall pick last year. The top pitcher taken off, the second pitcher taken off the board. A pitcher actually went number 1 overall to Cleveland. And the hits and Ks per 9 developing nicely at +4, +2 along the board, really, until you get to velocity and break. But we had a player lock game with him a few episodes back where I think we lasted 7 innings, a very good performance from him. And now we recently called him up to AAA, and only 1 start, 6 2/3, 3 earned in that game with 4 strikeouts, although a sub-1 whip, and an ERA just barely over 4 took the loss, but you'll take those numbers. Ken Hughes, a closing pitcher we acquired from Baltimore, straight up for Bretton Doyle earlier in the season, and I think he's going to be our closer next season, maybe even September. We'll call him up as our September closer. As I said, we kind of want to figure out that position, but tore it up in single A, tore it up in double A, and now here in AAA, 3 out of 3 so far on save attempts. 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 with no runs allowed and a whip just barely over 1. So we're going to do a quick manage game here with our Albuquerque Isotopes. Michael Yamashita on the mound, our top pitching prospect. Actually, he has overpassed Adiel Amador as our top overall prospect in the organization. He's going to get the start here. Amador batting second. And I think we're going to try and hope that Ken Hughes gets a save situation later on. Dane Dunning on the mound, I believe. This is the Express. I think that's the Rangers organization, if I'm not mistaken. Amador draws a walk. A single there from Heriberto Hernandez, who we acquired in the Charlie Blackmon trade last year with Tampa Bay. And Willie Calhoun grounds out to end the inning. Now Yamashita up. Let's see how he does in this start. A double play there after the walk. An error, but he does get out of it with a flyout. Michael Toglia, leadoff single. Thompson strikes out Shunk, a single. Runners on the corners for Kyle Datris. A sac fly as Albuquerque does take the lead. Now Benny Montgomery flies out. Round Rock back up. A leadoff triple from Jax Biggers. Getting it going. A ground out and a strikeout, still stranded on third. And Yamashita strands the leadoff triple on third. Tremendous maneuvering there. Amador up for his second plate appearance, strikes out. A single from Ronald Cabrera, our 6th round pick last year. And they do get out of the inning. Now bottom of the third. A 1-out single after a strikeout. A ground out then a strikeout, still scoreless from Yamashita. A 1-2-3 inning there as Yamashita now back out on the mound to pop up a walk. And then a 2-run home run as Round Rock takes the lead. A 2-out single, another single, and Yamashita's leash definitely tightening here. We're going to attack Hamilton, and he gets the 2 RBI double. And we do get a strikeout there, so Yamashita kind of implodes there in the 4th. It started with that home run, and it didn't get better after that. Montgomery a single, go with a hit and run here with Amador, and it works out as the double scores him, now 4-2. Heriberto Hernandez another single, now Willie Calhoun up, and he flies out. I think we'll give Yamashita a couple batters here, and he does get a 1-2-3, so a good response from him. Kumar Rocker now on for the Express, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning. I think we'll go to the bullpen now. We'll go to a lefty, Mitch Bratt, who we actually acquired from the Rangers last year in that Daniel Bard trade. He's been phenomenal as a lefty, working his way up the ranks now in AAA. 46 innings pitched with a 1.37 ERA, a sub-1 whip. Fly out, walk, and then a double. So he does allow a run here. Does get out of the inning. Now 5-2. Montgomery reaches on an error. And another RBI double from Adiel Amador. You'll love to see that from our top position player prospect. Round Rock back out there. A 1-2-3 inning from Bratt. Willie Calhoun on now. Leadoff walk. Tolio walked. Sterling Thompson pops up. Shunk a strikeout. Now Adrian Sampson on. I'm not sure why. Why isn't Bernabel in the starting lineup? Who has a good clutch rating? Really, no one on our bench has a good clutch rating, so I guess we'll just leave Datris in. Nah, we'll throw somebody else. We'll throw Goodman, I think. 49 clutch, decent contact. And he grounds out, so we do need to sub someone in at second. And that's going to be throw Bernabel, recently called up to AAA. So now the bottom of the 8th will go back to the bullpen here. We'll give Riley Pint the call here. It hits the opening batter and then a single, a double play though. Good response, and he does get out of the inning. So top of the 9th now. I was hoping for Ken Hughes in this game, but just not how it worked out. So why not? We'll go ahead and enter this game and see if we can work a comeback here with our AAA Isotopes. I don't think we've ever actually entered a game like this in the minor leagues throughout this series, just player lock games with some of our top prospects, but we'll try and work to come back. Montgomery, one of the top outfielders in the organization, but really has struggled here in AAA. 5-3 here. Wingenter on for the save. And it starts with a slider. A good pitch there. 0-1 now. That time we're swinging. Good timing on the slider. A little bit under it, though, as that's lofted out to center. And one up, one down so far for the Isotopes. And that will bring in Adiel Amador, our shortstop, our top prospect, aside from Michael Yamashita, although he did enter this series as our top guy, I think 17th in the top 50. First pitch fastball called a strike. That looked like it was a little up, but the pitcher gets the call. Now the 0-1. That one inside. A good eye from Amador. Wingenter, 2 high ones inside. Maybe see if he goes away this time. And he does go away as we offer at that with Amador as he flies out to the opposite field. 2 up, 2 down, and the rally is not looking good. This is Ronald Cabrera, our catcher draft pick from last year. Came in at a pretty high overall, but just deep potential, so he's probably just going to keep regressing as we go along here. Looks at a first pitch fastball, the 0-1 coming up now. And Amador, we actually played the Futures game with him the past 2 seasons, and we won Futures game MVP each time. Cabrera going to line that into center field for the base hit. We're not done quite yet. A bloop and a blast, and we're back in it. Who's the cleanup man? We have Heriberto Hernandez, like I said, acquired in the Charlie Blackmon Elias Diaz trade last year towards the deadline. First pitch swinging, and he comes up empty on that 98 mile per hour fastball. Heriberto Hernandez, a left fielder, right fielder. Swing and a miss inside, but he could also play catcher. So we like that versatility he provided. Now the 0-2, we're down to our last strike. And we do swing and a miss. 3 pitches there seen by Hernandez, and we don't hit any of them. A good save there from Wingenter. And that 1 inning proved to be the difference when Yamashita allowed those 4 runs as he takes the loss. He had 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 4 earned. And we're going to see if he can maybe get a little bit better and more complete in his outings to end the season. And now we'll go back to the MLB level. Missed out on a Ken Hughes appearance there. Maybe later on in the episode we'll look to get back in one of those with him. So Max Fried, 11-4 on the mound against Colin Rea. John Curtis on for the save, so I think they're giving Taj Bradley a rest here. Willie Adames on first, no outs. Let's see if we could hold. And John Curtis does get the job done. Over the past 2 seasons, throughout the course of this series, he's probably been our most reliable guy out of the pen. A home run from Santander, 8 scoreless innings from Max Fried as he racked up 12 strikeouts for his 12th win, and Curtis gets the save. And now Peter Lambert on against Freddie Peralta. Lambert recently called up to take Cal Quantrill's spot after we traded him to Chicago. Or correction, we actually traded him to St. Louis. And we take game 2, 12-6. You love that. We scored 6 in the bottom of the 6th. Brendan Rodgers 2 for 3 after, recently signing an extension. How many home runs did we have in this game? We had 7 home runs, 2 from Fernandez. Absolutely absurd. Everyone in the lineup except Danny Jansen had a hit. He really performs better when he's lower in the lineup. We move him up, he kind of starts trailing off a little bit. We move him to the 9 spot, and he tears it up. So maybe we just have to keep him at number 9. Fernandez 3 for 4. Amed Rosario 2 for 3 there. Love to see him. Another home run from Rosario. He's absolutely smashing the ball right now. Peter Lambert only lasted 4, gave up 6, but look at Ryan Yarbrough. 5 scoreless, 5 strikeouts, 5 hits. Now we're going to go for the sweep again. So already we've won the first 3 series here in August. Exactly what we need if we want to reach our goal of 81 wins. And we will complete the sweep. Another 12-run performance, and this team has really played better baseball. Amed Rosario, 2 home runs, 4 for 5 in the leadoff spot. What is going on? We're going to have to get a player lock game here with Rosario, I think. McMahon 2 for 4. And we had 4 more home runs, so 11 home runs in 2 games. That's like literally a fifth of the total home runs we had last season. Jason DeLay 2 for 4. He had a double. Rosario 2 homers. Alonso and Fernandez each with a home run. Keeper Rodriguez 2 for 4. Kind of filling in now in a utility role. Kyle Freeland a good start. 7 1/3, although 4 earned. 7 strikeouts. Carlos Estevez 1 2/3. So we got a sweep there. And we're now 7-2 to start the month of August. You love to see it. A series here now against the Reds. I think we'll sim ahead to the Hunter Green game and get a player. Actually, we'll go here against Williamson. We'll go back in against a lefty, and we'll do one with Rosario this time. I think we got to move the lineups around a little bit, which we will do following this game. We'll just roll with it for now, but slugging .523 and OPS at .862 in 153 at-bats, 8 home runs, already exceeding the total he had each of the last 2 seasons. 12 doubles, 2 triples, and this dude is just rocking the ball right now. We only signed him to a 1-year, $3 million contract, and he is progressing quite nicely, and maybe he's going to earn a spot on the roster next season. So here we are, back playing some baseball at Great American Ballpark. I think probably one of my favorite ballparks here in the National League. The Reds 58-60, and we're right on their trail here, just 2 games behind them. Now 58-62, I think, our record, or 56-62. And like I said earlier, playing much better baseball here in the second half of the season. And I think this is kind of what we're going to see going into next year. We're going to have a player lock game here with Amed Rosario. Brandon Williamson on the mound, 5-5. A good ERA there at 3.31. not really a strikeout pitcher. And I will take over here in the bottom of the first. Jack Flaherty on the mound. A full count here to Spencer Steer. 1 away, 1 man on. We do have Rosario in left, and really not his optimal position, but we're just kind of thin in the outfield right now, an area we're going to address this offseason. I think getting a center fielder is probably going to be our top priority this coming offseason. So a single there from Steer, as we're now here in the top of the third. No scoring there for Cincinnati, although they threatened in the first. Now the top of the third, 1 man on, no outs here. I think Montero there on first. And we should have swung at that one, looking at the first pitch changeup, as that dips right over the plate. The 0-1 now. And we offer at that one. Should have swung at the prior pitch, as Rosario, a soft fly out there to center to start the day. Tyler Soderstrom up to lead off the third for Cincinnati. Traded this season. The trades in this game are absolutely absurd. I'll never stop saying it until they fix it. He's going to rope that one towards Rosario as well. And I'm not sure why they give us these situations. Jonathan India hit a solo home run now. So top of the fifth, 1-0 Cincinnati. And we swing and a miss. A fastball gets in there. As we had good timing, just pulled away from it. This one, I thought we were going to drive. And we're too early on the slurve. Now an 0-2. And I don't know why we're chasing this fastball. Really getting out of our rhythm. Now the top of the seventh, Emilio Pagan on the mound for Cincinnati. That one inside a 1-0 count now. We hit well with Montero to start the episode, and that's probably what most people are going to see at least. We're going to foul that one off with Rosario. So if we go like 0 for 3, 0 for 4 with Rosario, I won't feel as bad about it. The 1-1 now. That one looked at for a ball. Good eye from Rosario. Swing and a miss. A good location there. Pagan really attacking the inside here. That one off the plate as Rosario works it full. A 1-run game. Full count here. Run on first. Rogers on deck. And that one way off the plate as we work the walk. A good at-bat from Rosario. The first 2 men on in the inning as we're threatening here. Rogers now a 3-1 count. Obviously a very good hitter's count here. So a hit into the outfield, or into the gap, might score 2 as Rogers does work the walk. And the base is loaded with no outs. We got to deliver here. Nolan Jones up to the plate, hitting the ball very well this season. The 0-2 though. That time I think it was out in front. And we don't get a run across there. 1 away now. Anthony Santander up to the dish. A very good signing from Baltimore. Took him a little bit to get going, but once he did, he's been mashing. Not there, though, as he also strikes out. So the bases loaded, no outs, and then back-to-back strikeouts. And we can't have that from the number 2, number 3 hitters. Another 2-2 count here now for Pete Alonso. That's going to be driven up the middle. Rosario is going to score as well. 2 RBI single from Pete Alonso as he picks up his teammates. Santander, a strikeout, and that's a 18-game hitting streak now for Pete Alonso. I did not see that coming this year. Like Santander, he was a little slow to get going. Jansen too, so all our free agent acquisitions took a bit to get going this season, but they've all been playing very well here down the stretch. So the Reds actually took the lead, now 3-2. Alexis Diaz on for the save here in the 9th. We get pretty good wood on that. But it's going to be a fly out there to left field. And I forgot Howard Wooten is actually on this Reds team. He was the number 2 overall pick last year. That was our top option, as the Reds are going to take it. But we ended up settling for Yamashita after missing out on Wooten. A tough loss here. Carlos Estevez takes the loss. He gives up the go-ahead run there in the bottom of the 8th. What were we? 0 for 3 with Rosario with a strikeout, although we did score a run, drew a walk. Alonso, 2 RBIs, our only 2 RBIs. Jack Flaherty, a good outing, 6 1/3, 2 earned, and 9 strikeouts. What about Howard Wooten? They're at first base, number 7 in the lineup. He actually had a double, an RBI double. He's batting .244 so far. And Ryan McMahon suffered a finger contusion. Not what we needed as we're trying to, not make a run down the stretch, but just play better baseball down the stretch. So I don't think we even really need to call anyone up in his spot. September call-ups are coming up anyway, so I think we'll just leave it as it is, but we do need to replace his spot in the lineup. A good area for Montero to take over, and for now, I think that's what we'll do. Move Nolan Jones to the 2 spot, Santander to the 3 hole. Who do we want in the 5? I think Rosario has earned it. I mean, Jansen we would like there, but he just hits better when he's down here in the lineup. Tovar hitting the ball well this year, but just not very good against righties. He's on a cold streak. So I think Fernandez then and Jansen will put at 7. Montero, Tovar there at 8, 9 against righties. Against lefties, we'll also put Rosario in that spot. We'll move Tovar up a little bit. And we'll put Jansen in the 8 hole. Now we'll put Jansen above Montero like we do against righties. So taking over at third base, I guess we will put Keeper Rodriguez. He's batting .308 since being called up. A spring training invite. Didn't really make the cut. Although he did have some time last year with the Rangers. We'll just leave him there for now. Although, actually, now would be a good time, I guess, to call up Sterling Thompson on a cold streak. But he plays third base, one of our top position player prospects, batting .263, .409 slugging. I think I even said in last episode we want to call him up, but we just don't really have a spot for him. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll actually end up putting McMahon on the injured list, 10-day injured list, and we'll call up Sterling Thompson and get him set for his big league debut. Welcome to the show, Sterling Thompson. We actually don't even have him on the 40-man roster. 23 years old, 70 overall, third baseman at B potential. So now going to Double-A, we'll just call up Cameron Cawley. We acquired him from Texas last year as we sent them Daniel Bard. Or is Jorge maybe a better option? I guess we'll see what we need more of. We already have 2 second basemen in Triple-A, 2 shortstops, so it doesn't really matter all that much. How many outfielders? Oh, we want to call up Joshua Baez, I think. When we traded for him in the last episode, it just sent him to Double-A, but he definitely should be in Triple-A, as that's settled now. And we actually have no more position players to call up to Double-A. We only have pitchers now. In our, oh no, we have a catcher at least. Let's try this and see. We might have too many pitchers now there in Double-A. Actually, no, it looks like we're actually good. All right, so I think we will throw Sterling Thompson here into the lineup against righties. And we'll put him in there in the 9 hole. I think we'll actually just get another player lock game now with Sterling Thompson. We'll get his debut as we have Chase Dollander on against Graham Ashcraft. And then after this, we'll probably try to simulate the rest of the episode. I want to try and at least work towards the end of August and then start next episode with September call-ups. So Sterling Thompson on for his MLB debut. And you see there Harper Wooten for Cincinnati has the fire symbol there. And he's getting hot, one of the best young hitters in baseball in just his first season. So, like we were just moments ago, we're back at Great American Ballpark, and we're here trying to win Game 2 of this 4-game set. We dropped the first one 3-2 in what was a low-scoring affair, as the Reds just 1 game under 500. Sterling Thompson making his Major League debut, and I think the last time we played with a prospect, I don't know if it was his debut, but it was one of his first games, we ended up hitting Yanquiel Fernandez, his first career home run. So in Triple-A this year, he batted .263. Thompson, that is, with 9 homers, 50 RBIs, a respectable OPS as well. Going to be in third base here in his debut here in Cincinnati, going up against Graham Ashcraft. Only 4 games started on the year, primarily a long relief guy, and the ERA over 5, the whip at 1.5, record at 10-8. So hopefully we can get to him quick here and drive into the bullpen. We're here now in the top of the third, still a scoreless game, there, as Thompson will lead off the inning, his first MLB plate appearance here. And he's going to be first pitch swinging, rips it into right field, and that's caught. Ripped the slider into right field, but it was caught, and that's exactly how you draw it up, though. You got to go back with that same approach. Nolan Jones' solo home run in the 4th. And now Thompson up, or maybe the 3rd that was, following the Thompson plate appearance. Now top of the 5th, Rockies again up by 1 run. And we should have swung at that. The slider dip there over the plate. We were sitting on it, but just didn't pull the trigger. Gotta look at a little more pitches here. That time we swing. That's we gotta switch it up. We'll look at a great first pitch right down the middle, and then we'll swing at the next one. That's not even in a similar placement. That one off the plate now. A 1-2 count here. That one gonna be fouled off. Good velocity there on the cutter from Ashcraft. Thompson going the opposite way with that one. Pops it up there in foul territory. And the left fielder gets there for the grab. Now a 2-2 game. Jonathan India, another home run. I think he homered yesterday. And now it's 2-2. Nolan Jones, another solo shot in this game. Thompson now a high leverage situation here. Runners on first and second, no outs. A 1-0 count here from Anthony DeSclafani. That one off the plate as well. And now a 2-0 count here for Thompson. A great spot to get your first MLB hit. That one gonna foul. He's getting good exit velo. He's hitting the ball hard here. Especially that first one. Just gotta line it up a little bit better. The 2-1. That one, a ground ball to first. Wooten. Oh my goodness, we ground into a double play. And this game just keeps getting worse. 0 for 3 now, a double play. And that's going to bring us down to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch in Cincy. Luckily, we did take the lead, though. Rogers an RBI single. Santander, 2 RBI single. Now the top of the 9th. Runner on first. Still in search of our first hit with Thompson. And that will not get the job done. Shallow center there, and the center fielder just barely gets to it. As we fly out, going to end the day 0 for 4. We do win the ball game as Nolan Jones, another RBI. I want to say he was 3 for 4. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, but 0 for 4 with Sterling Thompson in his MLB debut. Chase Downer does get the win, 10 strikeouts, and we need him to put together some good performances. Another save for John Curtis, so I'm not really sure what the deal with Taj Bradley is. We were close to taking him out of the closer spot, but just not something we have done quite yet, but it looks like he's not even really getting any run in simulations. So hopefully going forward, Thompson and Rosario have better luck against the AI than we did. 11-3, we're just scoring so many runs. We take game 2 and game 3. Rogers and Fernandez, each home runs. Sterling Thompson, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. He gets a double, so a good bounce back from him in the simulation. Keeper Rodriguez, 2 for 5, still batting .333. 3 hits for Tovar, 3 for Fernandez. Love to see that. Rosario, 2 for 4 there at the top of the lineup. Max Fried, another tremendous outing. 8 innings, 3 earned though, but 4 strikeouts, and Carlos Estevez a scoreless inning of work. So we've taken the last 2 now against Cincinnati. It's Peter Lambert on against Nick Lodolo. Lodolo on the mound. Alonso has a 20-game hitting streak at this point here in the top of the 7th. And we do fall 2-1, so both of our losses by just 1 run. And these are the kind of games we're going to need to start pulling out. We lose in extra innings, although Pete Alonso does extend the hitting streak. Rosario, a home run. He's absolutely on fire. Lambert, 5 strong innings, just 1 earned. But Yarborough, he didn't allow an earned run, did allow a run, does take the loss despite a good appearance from him. Now Kyle Freeland on the mound against Merrill Kelly as we have a 3-game set here against Pittsburgh on the road. And here we go. Here's Taj Bradley. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. We're up by 1 run here against the Pirates. Ji Hwan Bae on the dish. We'll just simulate, see if Bradley can hold, and he does. All his save attempts are just super high anxiety, I guess we'll call it. Curtis a hold. He's been very good lately. Estevez now 5-1 gets the win. 3 strikeouts in 1 inning. Kyle Freeland just 2 earned in 6. Rogers a home run. He had 2 hits. Only 4 hits as a team, though. And now Flaherty on against Shane Baz. Baz, 6 innings of scoreless work so far. Alonso now at 22 games. Top of the 7th will simulate. And we do get shut out there in game 2. And Alonso, his hitting streak falls there at 22 games. A tremendous run from him. Sterling Thompson, 2 for 4 with a double. Flaherty, 2 earned and only 4 1/3. Walked 6 batters. Yarborough, 2 2/3 of scoreless pitching. And Gilbreth, a scoreless inning. His ERA now at 2.82. Now the rubber match here, and we got to just keep keeping our heads above water, winning these series, although that series against Cincinnati is technically a tie at 2-2. Dollander back on the mound here against Mitch Keller. Campaneris, one of our AA pitchers, injured now, dislocated shoulder. David Bednar on for the save. We have Brendan Rodgers up. Rosario on first, one away. And Bednar gets the job done. So our first series lost here in August, as we're now 59-66. Now we're here on August 18th. Happy birthday to me. We have a 3-game set here against Oakland, the third worst team in the MLB. We have Max Fried on 13-4, our lone all-star this year, pitching phenomenal after bringing him over as a free agent on against Paul Blackburn. And we do get the loss there. I was not expecting that. It was 2-2 going into the top of the 8th, but our bullpen gave up 3 there. Lawrence 3 earned in just 1/3. He's now 1-9 on the season. Estevez and Curtis scoreless after that, though. Nolan Jones had a double, 2 for 5 there for Brendan Rodgers. Sterling Thompson 1 for 4. And we do not need to be losing games here against the Athletics. Now Lambert on. He has not been good since being reinserted into the rotation on against J.P. Sears. Montero, lower back pain, going to miss a couple games. Danny Jansen now 1 to 2 weeks, so another injury to a starting player. We do win 10-1, so silver lining there. 2 for 4 there, Santander. Same for Alonso and Tovar and Keibert Rodriguez. Santander and Jansen with home runs, so Jansen homered in this game and then got hurt later on. Maybe got hurt on his home run trot. 6 innings from Lambert scoreless with 8 strikeouts, and then Ryan Yarbrough a 3-inning save. So a good game there, but Montero was day-to-day, so he's out of the lineup. And then we just got an injury to Danny Jansen. And we're already very thin at catcher. We saw that Drew Romo suffered an injury. He's now on the IL for the rest of the season. Really didn't have good numbers in AAA. Scattered, 2 different sets, really. He played maybe 60 of those 120 at-bats in the first month or so, got hurt, came back, and then got hurt again. So really not good numbers from Romo. We were kind of hoping he would emerge as our backup catcher, but I think we'll need to look elsewhere to fill that spot. So Ronald Cabrera, I mentioned he was our 6th-round pick from last year, switch-hitting catcher. But look at that, contact versus lefties down -11. Everything else pretty much regressing at deep potential. Came in at like a 70 overall, I guess. And he is hitting the ball very well. A high on-base percentage as well. He's, I guess, above average, you would say, in the field with a decent arm. So really would come down between him, Daniel Cope, William McIver. And also we did have Heriberto Hernandez, who I mentioned has that catching versatility as a secondary option, but I don't think he's really quite ready yet. He is 25 years old, though. But I think we might as well just go with Cabrera, the catcher by trade. So we're going to have to add him to the... I think there might be someone on waivers, but we still would have to wait a couple days. Let's see. Before, Kyle Higashioka was on waivers, but really no need for a catcher. Maybe would have entertained that now, but I guess we will just go ahead and call up Cabrera. We have to add him to the 40-man, but probably just remove him from the 40-man here in the offseason as he's set to make his MLB debut. We're going to have to add Jansen to the IL. We'll call up Daniel Cope to AAA. And Orlando Santana, who we acquired from New York in the Kris Bryant deal, is going to get called up to AA momentarily. Well, at just 50 overall. Now going back to the IL. And Danny Jansen moved to the 60-day. And same with Campaneris here. Forgot to do that before. So we actually have to call up another pitcher here. And we'll go with Jaden Hill. And throw him into the long relief role there in AA. We don't Roby ahead of him, though. So back to it. We're just going to simulate these games quick. Maybe jump into a save situation if one presents itself. But we do have to adjust the lineup a little bit. We'll just throw delay in the 8-hole for now. Put Montero back in. He's not going to miss much time. All right, the rubber match here against the Athletics. And Ramon Barton actually on the mound. I want to show you his player card because our number 3 overall pick last year, it came down to Yamashita or Ramon Barton. And the Athletics actually picked him number 4 right after us. And they already have him in the majors. The California native stays there in state. 18 starts on the year, 4-7. 92 innings pitched, a 4.7 ERA, a whip at 1.38. 101 strikeouts, though, in 92 innings. Only 4 quality starts, a WAR at 1.3. Good Ks per 9. Home runs per 9, not too bad. Although for his stat line, though, home runs per 9, very bad at just 46. Home runs per 9 at 51. And clutch only at 44 with 37 control. So we definitely made the right choice, I think. Although Barton a little more developed at this point. 3 years older than Yamashita, but only like a 3 overall difference between the two. But I'm really surprised they already have him up at the MLB level. So the rubber match here, we got the veteran in Freeland against Barton, the rookie. And now Freeland on. It's 7-0 Rockies. Freeland has a shutout going, and he's teased a bunch of shutouts here over the past 2 seasons. We do finish there 7-0. McMahon now available to play. You love to see that. Austin Beck, a double-A outfielder ready to play, along with Griffin Conine. So a bunch of guys go on the IL, and then a bunch of guys come off it. So let's see if Freeland... He went the distance, so that's Freeland's 4th shutout, complete game shutout in the last 2 seasons. None, in his career prior. Joe Adela home run, you like to see that. He hasn't really been seeing the field all that much. Jones, Alonso also went yard. Jones, Alonso, Santander each with 2 hits, 4 RBIs for Pete Alonso. And we do have to make some adjustments now. So we've had Keibert Rodriguez playing a little bit here in the MLB as kind of a utility man. He's batting .281 and 32 at-bats. 9 for 32, and all of his hits are singles. No extra base hits. He's been solid, but I think we'd rather keep up Sterling Thompson for now. Batting .250 in his first 28 at-bats. We'd rather burn the option here, the minor league option on Rodriguez, rather than burn it on Thompson, even though we haven't used any on Thompson. But I don't know how long Rodriguez is really going to be around. So we'll call him down. Now we'll call down another position player here in AAA. Probably an outfielder, I would think. Or maybe a reliever. Adam Kloffenstein, we got him last year from St. Louis, I believe. I think that was in the Tyler Kinley trade. How many relievers right now do we have in AAA? The standard amount, maybe could call one down. So I think we will call down Kloffenstein, even though he's our long relief guy. Disregard, we'll call down Dugan Darnell instead, just to keep more position players at the AAA level. And now we have to call down 3 guys here in AA. We got 2 outfielders back, so we can probably call down Carpathios, I think his name is. Carpathios. Batting .238 and just 21 at-bats. He's going back down. Pavin Smith hasn't really seen many at-bats at the MLB level. And we still have Zach Veen and Jordan Beck here, our top 2 outfield prospects. Each suffered season-ending injuries not too long ago. So right now we have 5 AA outfielders, which is fine. Although we probably could call down Nico Decolati, but he is slugging quite well, high OBP. Griffin Conine was hitting very well as well before he went on the injured list. I think easily we'll call down, even though he is a good utility man. And that gives us 4 outfielders at AA, which is fine. And I guess we'll have to call down a pitcher as well. And it's going to be Eli Lingos that we call down. We'll put Darnell as our top guy. And then we'll call down Lingos. So really nothing groundbreaking here, but it's good to get some guys back. Although we are going to still wait on Danny Jansen. Now we have a set here against the New York Yankees. Montero's back. I think we already had him in the lineup. As we do. But we did need to put McMahon back in, which is going to slide Thompson onto the bench. But with Keibert Rodriguez being sent down, hopefully the AI just puts Thompson in for a few games. So we did have, I think we'll just put delay in the 9-hole. I like a little more speed at that spot, but he's definitely the worst hitter in the lineup right now. And typically I do like to have, I think Rosario will put in the leadoff spot. Rogers number 2. I think we'll have Jones, Alonso, Santander, or McMahon at 5, and then Santander at 6. And I think that kind of stretches our lineup the best, as long as Rosario can, keep contributing there. So then we got to put McMahon in here. He's really not good against lefties. 49 contact, 43 power. That's just crazy. But I do kind of still like him in the 5-hole. Poor vision as well. Really surprising. Actually, against lefties, we'll put him in the 6-hole. Have Santander in the number 5 spot. So finally we can keep going along here. Just 8 games remaining here to sim. And we beat the Yankees 11-4. Marcus Stroman, not a good outing. He's 6-10 on the year, a 6.7 ERA. That is just awful. Kris Bryant, 1-for-4 in this game. And now we'll go to our side. 4 home runs. Rogers McMahon, he homers in his first game back, 2-for-3. Great performance from him. Jason DeLay homers. He's been picking it up a lot in recent games. 3 hits for Rogers there. In the 2 spot, he homered. Jack Flaherty, he's really coming along here. ERA just barely over 4. And we signed him on a pretty team-friendly deal in the offseason. And he has a potential, I think, just now at like 79, 80 overall. So he'll keep growing here as we go along. But Gilbreth gave up 2 earned in just 1 inning there in the top of the 9th. But we had such a big cushion, it didn't really matter. Now, Chase Dollander on against Clark Schmidt. Schmidt's been pitching well this year. We still get the win, though. And that's 4 in a row now for the Rockies. Kris Bryant, 2-for-4 in this one. So he's 3-for-8 so far in his revenge series against the Rockies. Rosario, 2-for-3 at the top of the lineup with a walk and 3 runs scored. You love that from the leadoff man, getting around to score. Pete Alonso, 1 hit, 4 RBIs. So I want to say maybe he hit a grand slam in this one. That's awesome. 2 hits there for Tovar and Delay, as Delay is now batting over 250. Not a good start from Dollander, 5 earned in 5 innings. You like the 7 strikeouts, though. Lucas Sims, 1 earned in 2/3. Lucas Gilbreth, blown save, just 1/3 of an inning. Estevez gets the win. He's now 6-1. Curtis a hold, his 20th of the year. And Taj Bradley, 2 strikeouts in a flawless 9th inning. He gets his 12th save of the year. So going for the sweep now. Battle of the lefties here. Max Fried against Carlos Rodon. Rodon a good bounce back year here with the Yankees. And we're up 3-0. Fried has a shutout. 2 outs in the 8th. Aaron Judge on second. Stanton up to the plate. And we do allow a couple runs there, but we get 1 back in the bottom half of the inning to give us a little insurance as we complete the sweep against the Yankees. Rosario, 2-for-4 at the top. He's really emerging as a good leadoff hitter for us. Ryan McMahon, another home run. 3 hits for Rogers, one of which was a double. And you love to see how this team's kind of coming to life here towards the end of this season. Max Fried now 14-4, 9 strikeouts. John Curtis, 1/3 of an inning. And Taj Bradley, another save, being a little more stable in that spot. So just 5 games left here. A 3-game set against Toronto. Peter Lambert, 2-0, now against Jose Berrios. And we went 5-0. What is that? 6 straight wins now for the Rockies. You love to see it. Rosario, a double there, 1-for-5. He's probably got a nice hitting streak going at this point. Alonso, 2-for-4. Another home run from him. I wonder what his season total's at now. 3 hits for Yanquiel Fernandez and 2 for Jason Delay. A double for him, really filling in well for Danny Jansen. Lambert now 3-0, only 4 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, no earned, and John Curtis a 2-inning save. He's been phenomenal out of the pen. And now Kyle Freeland, 12-8, coming off a complete game shutout in his last start here against Zach Littell. And we dropped this one, so the winning streak snapped at 6 games, and you'll definitely take that run that we had. Rogers 3-for-4. Rosario, another hit in this one. 3-for-4 there from Santander. 2-for-4 from Hernandez. Santander a home run in this one. Freeland 5 earned in 4 innings. Yarbrough 2 earned in 3. But Gilbreth and Estevez a scoreless inning from each. So the rubber match here, Jack Flaherty on. Let's see if he can put together another good outing as we fall. So we dropped that series against Toronto after the sweep against the Yankees. Only 3 hits in this game. Rogers with a triple. Jones with a home run. Santander a single. Flaherty 5 earned in 4 1/3. Yarbrough, good outing, 2 2/3 of scoreless pitching. Estevez gave up 1, and Sims a scoreless outing. So we'll simulate 3 more games here, actually. August has 31 days. So we have another set here against the Giants. And we actually have surpassed them in the standing. So for like the first time in this series, we are not in last place. 2 games ahead of the Giants, 1.5 behind the Diamondbacks right now. Only 4 games under 500. Chase Dollander on in this one to start this series. Santander has an 11-game hitting streak going here in the top of the 7th, though. Only 1 hit on the day, and we're down 5-0. And again, we're going to be shut out. We only scored 1 run in the game before, and now we're shut out here. Amed Rosario a hit. Santander 2-for-4, so he extended that hitting streak with 2 hits in the last 3 innings. Cabrera made his debut at catcher, and he got a double for his first career hit. Dollander, another bad outing, 5 earned in 4, an ERA over 6, and I was really hoping he would show some growth over the course of this season, but he might be best suited to start out in AAA next year. 4 innings of scoreless pitching from our bullpen. Justin Lawrence, the ERA over 7. Now game 2, we have Max Fried on against Logan Webb, a battle of 2 very good pitchers here. I think Webb was the All-Star Game starter. The NL won that 12-2, I believe. Now Santander still hitless here in the top of the 8th. Amir Garrett on for the Giants, former Colorado Rocky. We signed him to a short stint last season. Max Fried sporting a shutout here. And we are going to win 5-2. So again, Max Fried fails to hold on to the shutout, but of course we'll still take the win. Rosario had a triple, Jones a home run. He had 2 hits. Alonso was 3 for 5. Tovar a double. Max Fried 8 1/3, just 1 earned, 7 strikeouts. Estevez an earned run in just a third, and Taj Bradley came on, allowed 2 base runners, but got a strikeout for the final out for his 14th save. So to close this episode, we're going to simulate this last game, kind of probably dragged along a little bit here towards the end of the episode, but I don't want to make them too long, so we're going to simulate this last game. Peter Lambert on against Blake Snell, and Snell has not been good over the past 2 years after signing with the Giants. And we are going to take this one 5-1 as we close the episode on a very high note. Santander, McMahon, and Montero each with 2 hits. Rosario, another hit there at the top of the lineup. He's been super consistent, although he hasn't had any multi-hit games here lately, but he's been very consistent. Lambert, another really good start. He's now 4-0, so I was kind of down-talking him a little bit a few moments ago, but he's responded with 2 or 3 very good starts. Sims, a scoreless inning. Good to see him kind of coming around here in the second half. And Curtis, a 5-out save. And I can't talk enough about how good he's been out of the pen. So with that series, we've now passed the Padres as well in the standings. And we're only 3 games under 500. And we're only a half game out of a wild card spot. I did not expect that whatsoever. So our finish to close this season, we have a 2-game set against Houston, a very good team, over 80 wins. Chicago White Sox, who are not good. St. Louis, who I think has the best record in the MLB, or at least at one point they did, but it looks like they've fallen off here after the All-Star break. And now the Dodgers have pulled away with the best record. Washington, not a good team. Atlanta, of course, a good team. Arizona, we have 2 sets against them as well. So we're currently against the Diamondbacks. That's our big competition right now. And we have 2 series against them to end the season. So next episode, I definitely want to get a full game in. Or maybe the episode after that, I'm not sure. But it's definitely going to have to be one of those Diamondback series, as it looks like it's going to come down to the final stretch. I was happy to just play 500 baseball this year, but we might be in line to, snag a wild card spot somehow. It's going to take a team effort and more consistent play down the stretch. Alonso with 32 home runs, just 1 short of last year's total with the Mets. So this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. It was a fun episode. We played some very good baseball in this episode in the month of August. Overall, I think we only lost maybe like 6 to 8 games. At quick glance here, it looks like maybe 7. So we're crawling our way back up into relevance here in Major League Baseball. And it's been a very fun rebuild so far. And I'm looking ahead to the next episode and seeing how it all unfolds. So as always, everybody, it's been real and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.